Welcome to the Golden Apple Show. This is your host, Jackie J. Matters mental health. And this time we are majoring on postpartum depression, PPD. There's a certain expectation on mothers that you will embrace the journey of carrying the pregnancy, you will embrace the journey of motherhood without any qualms, without any complaints, without any complications. And the moment that you reach out for help, the moment you discuss that you're having some difficulties, you're looked upon as being weak, you're looked upon as being sissy, you're looked upon as not being strong enough to be a mother. And sometimes as a result of carrying the pregnancy and having a small baby, sometimes we go through mental health struggles. We go through postpartum depression. Yes, that is something that exists. And I'm so happy that nowadays this is something that is normalized. I was having a conversation with my mom and she told me back in the day, there was nothing like PPD, quote unquote, there was nothing like that. So every time you had your own challenges, you had your own baby blues and stuff, you were told to just woman it up, that motherhood is a sacrifice. But what happens when you're not feeling strong enough for this kind of sacrifice? What happens when you need a shoulder to lean on? What happens if you have a colicky baby? What happens if you have a baby who doesn't sleep at least for a couple of hours so you can recharge and rest? What happens if you're having issues breastfeeding? What happens if your scars are taking longer to heal? Who do you talk to? What happens when you have no idea, when you look at that baby and you're wondering, huyu sasa nitafanya nini na yeye? Umezunguka nyumba yote, umebebeleza mtoto halali, hanyamazi. Who do we talk to? Who do we turn to? Who will actually listen to mothers without telling us that motherhood is a sacrifice? Because you know what? Enough with the sacrifice. As much as motherhood is a calling, we need a shoulder to lean on. We need someone we can talk to. We need someone who will embrace us and tell us, you know what, iko sawa tu, you're doing the best you can with what you have. Now, with me, I have a guest. We've come a long way. She's Jerry like me, so you can imagine two Jerrys on set. Ni moto! Hey, ni moto kama klasi. Sasa Jerry, yes. Tupige intro kidogo, tuambie maneno yako, 1, 2, 3, alafu tupatie story.
So, thank you for having me. It's very nice. I know. So, my name is Catherine Jerry, but most people call me Kids. I'm a mother of 2 now. And yes, like you said, matters mental health when you're a mother is just, that topic like nobody wants to talk about it, but Mali tumefika, we just have to. So me, I got my first child in 2016, but it was not my first pregnancy. I had 2 miscarriages before. So 2015, mbeba mimba vizuri, everything is going well. Okay, I was, what do I call it? I was extra cautious. Extra cautious because I had already lost 2 pregnancies before. So everything that I did with that pregnancy, every small pain, every anxiety, every kid that did not feel right, I rushed to hospital. So my first child is a rainbow baby, but she's also a child that I have love for with everything that I have, because that pregnancy, nilibeba na nilipenda na it did me wonders. But now, kubeba na kulea, 2 totally different things. For one, my daughter did not come at 38 or 40 weeks. I carried my pregnancy up to 42 weeks. Yes. And at 40, I remember I went to hospital in Kikuyu, and I was like, hey, nini nimechoka. See, you just induced me. History to maliza. And the nurse I met at the hospital and the doctor were like, no, here we are not allowed to induce you until you figure the whole 42. So I had like an extra 2 weeks to wait. Yeah. And they were like, you see, we can induce you, and according to the last menstrual period you gave us, could be your room. So we induce you and the baby is not yet full term. So they, kulingana na dini yako, ukifika 42, they will induce you. So I went back home, I was angry, I was tired, like 42 weeks comes, we go back to hospital. I remember it was February the 8th, and it was my husband's birthday. And so many people by the way, we're going to hospital and I'm not coming back. It's either they induce me, or me, I'm done. So we went, induction, labor for the whole day, chance. labor kicks in and you realize, hii kitu si mama ya mtu. Hii kitu si mama ya mtu by the way. So at around 6:30 I'm taken to theater, emergency CS. My baby was, the heart rate was going down.
After laboring? After
laboring, yes. The whole day. And then the little one decides, hii cervix yako, first of all, body decides cervix yako haijafunguka, so it's the best we can do. Then mtoto heartbeat ikaanza to go down. So until they have theater and review, we go to theater. At around 7, I had my baby, sleep the anesthesia off. And I remember the first person I called when I came to my senses after dawa imeanza ku reduce at around 11, my mom. And I'm like, hey mom, pole, everything I've ever done as a child, Nini, I am sorry. And I hung up and life continues. I'm a CS mother, so you stay in hospital for 3 days, that's all. Jackie, let me tell you, we all get pregnancy blues at some point. We do.
Yes.
But mimi nilitoka hospitali, and I can promise you a week was not over. And then I start getting guests. Kuja kwa nyumba, like guest after guest after guest. And these people who have come to visit, they've not come to help me. They came, it's story time. First of all, I am overwhelmed. I am not healed. Mwili bado hajashikana because they tell you kidonda imeshikana, but your body does not bounce back. Yes, immediately. It doesn't. It's a process. I had a day bug. I did not have a living DM because of the living condition. Yes, I was living in a small house. I couldn't house a living. So yeah, let me just say, after that first week, I think that's where everything started going downhill. So I hosted people after people, and you see, I have no problem with you coming to visit me. But I usually tell people, if you're visiting a new mom, whether new or old, whether they have 6 or 10 kids, the fact is, they just give birth.
That's true.
You're not coming to sit down. You're coming to help. And the moment you sit there, I have to figure out what's Jackie going to eat. What's Jackie going to drink? How am I making food for these people? I have not healed. And you're giving me a burden over my own body that is already a burden to me. Now, that was not even the issue. So that is just one of the many things that drove me to postpartum. My daughter was one of those kids who were gifted with lungs. Mtoto akilia, ameamua kulia. Yeah, so my daughter could sleep through the day. But at night, we are sitting down, my friend. And you see this thing, they tell you in the hospital, mtoto akilala, jaribu lala, it doesn't work. That thing does not work, by the way.
Vile mtu anga overwhelmed, hata
utalala saa ngapi? You try to sleep, and your body is already used to, I sleep at night.
Yes.
Now you're telling me, this child is sleeping through the whole day. So pia nilale. Usiku nitafanya, nikae chini tukae. But besides just being a mom, I'm a wife. And I was a career woman also. So, una get overwhelmed because you cannot sleep the whole 8 hours ya mchana. You can't. And the maximum you will do is an hour or 2 nap time. And it will not be continuous. Because I don't know whether it's just me, but I find anytime I sleep during the day, I sleep, but in my subconscious, I will still get amka with what happened? How long have I been asleep? So my daughter would just akilala sana, si ameshinda mchana amelala, jioni you breastfeed her at around, she'll sleep up to 11. Sasa kuanzia 11, my friend, mpaka saa 10, we are macho. This child utamubembeleza, unazunguka kwa nyumba naye. And my daughter, from the word go, she loved being sung to. So unamwambia, you sing all the lullabies, mama, they zinaisha kwa kichwa. I'm a Catholic. So now what I used to do, take Catholic songs, turn them into lullabies. Everybody in my house is asleep. Mimi niko tu pale. I'm singing. Mpaka saa 10 asubuhi. And it was like clockwork. Ikifika 11 kanaamuka. Unabembeleza, unaambiwa nyonyesha mtoto. I don't know why people think every time your child wakes up, nyonyesha is the solution.
Na kuna many other needs that baby has.
Exactly. So nyonyesha mtoto alale. Unanyonyesha. Saa ingine hataki kunyonya. Ameshiba. Unabembeleza akianza kusinzia weke chini. But I used to just wait. Mwekele. Funika yeye. Lungs. Nimekuambia she is gifted. She has lungs that are stronger than mine. Anaamka na kulia. I'm telling you, I never used to rest. My body got so fatigued. Then, you all know DMs, how they behave.
Yeah.
Suddenly, my DM is not coming early.
She's supposed to report at what time?
At around 8. She's not coming early. Mother, she's missing work. I had to inform. Me, I always looked up to my mom. Because my mom raised 4 kids. And my mom was like, growing up, she's doing it all. We had house helps, yes. We had DMs, yes. But most of the things you see, she's doing. No, you remember our time, our mother's name is diapers. Mama yangu had nappies and they were white. Yeye anajisukia anaamka kufua. Tunapi tukianikwa pale kwa kamba tunakaa white. So I used to look up to my mom. And I always told myself, I want to be a mother like my mom. Or better. So there's that in the back of my head. Why am I have it easier. I'm not washing nappies. I'm not doing she's a teacher. She was a teacher. Nursery school teacher by the way. So my mom leaves work. Sani amerudi kwa nyumba to breastfeed whoever is being breastfed, to take care of, to check on us as kids, nini. So I always wanted to be like my mom. So mimi nikajifanya nini? Superwoman. The first few days, and I also have this thing about me. If I tell you something and I feel like I'm pushing too much, I do it myself because A, I am not motivated, and 2, I cannot keep telling you the same thing 2-3 times. So the moment my dream started misbehaving, what do? I wake up, zile nguo nilizoku za mtoto, I washed them. Unfortunately, what nobody told me is, as a CS person, you do not overwork your body. They told me in the hospital, and relax, don't do hard work, but it does not sit with you. So when she started misbehaving, mimi ni nani? I will not sew clothes for you jana, and then zimefika hapa sana, nisizitaharibika na ni nguo za mtoto wangu. And I have a bag also. Yes. Nikaingia nafua. Jackie, at around when we usually go for the first clinic after a month, when we're a CS mom, kwenda kuangalia kidonda. Kwenda hospitali, the whole of my scar, one side, was full of pus. So they had to clean it again. Ilikuwa inavurutwa hivi nini pus na syringe, because the part that ilikuwa imepata hiyo pus was not that big, but it would still have affected me. Yes. And then the nurse was telling me, told me, weren't you told not to do anything hard? So me, I'm like, the only thing I have done is wash my daughter's clothes. Sini kidogo. And I'm calling someone to wash my clothes and my husband. Nilikuwa tu nafunga tu za mtoto and maybe just clean the house. And told, your back is not yet healed. Slow down. I came back. We went back home. So now I'm raising my daughter. My daughter routine usiku halali. So I remember when she was around 2 months, my mom, my dad, and my grandma came to visit. And my mom is the kind of woman who does not spend the night in your house. Akiamua anakuja kutembea, 7 ako kwako, saa 9 anatoka. My hubby went and picked them. I saw my parents. Jackie, I cried. My mom was asking me, What is wrong? Nothing. Hysterical crying. Like, I'm crying kabisa kabisa. My grandmother is like, what is wrong? My dad, you know fathers.
Yes.
Our fathers, they just look at you like, he doesn't know whether to hug you, to ask your husband what the problem is. Umefanyia mtoto wangu nini? They just looked at me. And I don't even remember how we got to the house. And my mom gets to the house. The first thing she tells me, unasema mtoto alale? Hii nyumba iko na joto sana. Umevalisha mtoto wangu ngapi? So my mom takes my child. Unamtoa hapo haraka. My daughter did not take 10 minutes. Yani, these little humans will embarrass you. Kabisa. You know, I was looking at her and thinking, are you doing this intentionally? You know. So, and then my mom is a typical Kikuyu mom. So, both in the jam. Minji, maharago, mahindi, everything. My bones. She's just giving instructions. Fanya hivi, akisha jiko kwenye supu. Nipatie mahindi. By the time my mom and my grandma were living, they had done more work than anybody had ever done for me in this. So, tukaka, they left. So now, before I could realize, me used to just think, it's kawaida. See, I'm told people just feel that way. Una feel mtoto akilia unalia. And it's true. Sometimes that child would cry. Nimekubembeleza, I have done everything, and I get to a place where hata mimi nalia. Because now, utalia na mimi sijui nitakufanyia nini, hauoni. I start crying. Situshindane basi. Tulia wote, mwenye atanyamaza wa kwanza asaidie mwingine.
But let me ask, because you seem to have been going through this alone.
Yeah.
Where was the father of your child?
Si tuko nyumba moja.
Now,
let me tell you, I don't know whether it's passed on to them or what happens. Because I would literally, I remember once I called him and I'm overwhelmed, my head is aching, everything is just kwa kichwa. And I'm like, I'm going to say, in his sleep, this is exactly what he told me. Sasa ninaamka kufanya nini na sina matiti. Yes, drink to that one. Wacha tukunywe kidogo. And that, for me, that statement stuck with me. Because I'm thinking, this is corporate. We are supposed to help.
This baby belongs to the two of you.
Exactly. And
I'm
thinking, it's not necessarily a matiti thing.
No, it's got nothing to do with the boobs.
And I am not actually telling you to sit the whole night with me. Just get your daughter for an hour. Let me just 1 hour. Shower.
A decent shower.
Shower. Sleep. Even not just sleep. Let's take a power nap.
Yes. Come on.
Recharge. So that and many other things that and people say things and they don't realize.
Yeah.
Like another woman will tell you, huyu mtoto hafai kuoshwa hivyo, mtoto hafai kuoshwa hivyo, mtoto hafai kupewa formula kwa sababu ABCD. And with or without their knowledge, you're telling me something that is going to stick with me.
Yeah.
And for a person like me who wants everything to be perfect,
those
words, zinakukula.
Yeah.
Everything becomes an issue. So now, I'm not just trying to be Superman, I'm also trying to make sure that those old mamas who come to visit have nothing to say about me.
So everything is just tick.
Yes, everything, yes, she's doing ABC, she's a good wife, tick. She's a good mother, tick. But in the process of that, I lost myself.
That was a lot of pressure for you.
A lot of pressure from people who do not even matter in my life. They matter somehow, but they're not supposed to be the first thing in my life. Yeah. So, and you see that statement from my husband, naamka kufanya nini na sina matiti. Me, like I told you, if I ask you for help once and you push me away, I don't ask again. Because there's that feeling in the back of my head like, when you mzigo. I don't want to be a burden to anyone. Sitaki, I don't like that feeling of I owe you. I am here because of you. So instead of getting help, what I did is I shut down. So I did everything by myself. Thank God when my parents came to visit for the first 2 months, they came with my cousin, my younger cousin. So she was there. And my cousin would go like, leta mtoto and ugali kidogo. But remember, the first month plus, I was already on my own. Yes. So my brain is used. Anytime I hear that child cry, I don't know how to shut it off. She's there. She's with the child. She will come pick the child. Atakunukia. Nipatie mtoto unalemani. And I'm like, nipatie mtoto but I won't sleep. Because it's already in my head. The moment that child cries, that cries in my head. I'm the only one who is capable of doing anything. Jackie, I can promise you, I don't know how I fell into depression because I never actually realized until later. Yeah. You would find me. My cousin stayed with me for about 2 or 3 months until the dad was like, unachokesha watu kurudi nyumbani. The dad told her, come back home. And by the time she was leaving, my daughter was around 3-4 months. So, before Arudi, there was a time my sister was at my place, my blood sister. And after I stayed at home with the child for the first 2.5 months, then I went back to work. I went back to work for like a month. Then, huyu mzee wa kuniambia hana matiti. We sit down and he's like, you're always calling me, you're always calling your sister. When you're at work, you're not focused. So let's sit and discuss and see the way forward. So we sit. Solution ni, wacha kazi, lea mtoto. Anything you need, I will give you. Mimi ni nani? Fair enough. Let me sit. Yes. We had an event at Shad. So, most of the things I do, I consult my parents. So I told my mom, even my mom was against it. But my mom didn't tell me directly. She told my dad and my uncle. So my dad and later, you know, when you see your dad call you on the side, my dad was like, nitakwambia usiache kazi. Usiache kazi. He's a man, he knows. Usiache kazi, wewe vumilia. Mtoto ni God ulea. And they're telling me this with my uncle. And I'm thinking, Mom, I told you this in secret. Why are you telling my father? If I wanted him to know, I would have told him myself. So, when you're in love, there are people you cannot advise. Women in love are number 1. Men with money is number 2. So, I'm in love. Mnasema, I stay at home. Yeah? Let me tell you, no matter how much your man gives you, it will never be, and especially if you're used to making your own money, it will never get you there. Because there are things you'll be like, sanitisha pesa yako na ama ya pads, which is more important. Na ukumbuke njia ni yule wa mimi sitaki kukua mzigo. I'm asking only for what is necessary. So I am here, I'm cooped up in the house with a child for the first 3 years. I went back to work when my daughter was, I think, from 2016, I went back to work in 2019.
But you had a DM to help you still during that period?
No, sasa when my cousin came, what was the need for the DM?
Okay, so it was you and your cousin?
Me and my cousin. Okay. So, at some point, sasa when alienda pia yeye, I did not see the need to. Sinishapona. That's like 6-7 months later. Sinimepona. So, and I'm not working. Jackie, you need ABCD. Mtu mnaenda kwake, you just, the way they talk to you. And I tell people, it's not necessarily what you say, it's how you say it. It's how you say it. Nimesikia. Hiyo ni emergency. So, I would shut down. I became a person who would find fault. Just find anything you say just came out as an attack. Because first of all, in my head I'm already feeling whatever I say is just gonna come back. Either I have to defend it or I have to justify it. So slowly but slowly started shutting down. I'm not hanging out with friends. I'm not calling anybody. I'm not talking to my parents. It's just me, TV, Dave and Eva, and my daughter. That was the life. So I remember one time, the moment that I realized things are not okay. So my child got sick. So I am panicked. I started walking. Instead of waiting for the person who was supposed to come pick me and take me with my child to hospital, I started walking. I used to wear glasses. You know that I used to wear glasses. So I don't have my glasses. I'm not seeing well. It's very eveningish. I only got to the hospital after kupatana na mwenye alikuwa anakuja kutupick. Got on the motorbike. Got to the Hosi. Kutoka kwa Hosi. That's when the nurse there told me, Madam, can you be able to? That's when I realized I've been walking barefoot. Nilikuwa tena mgutu.
Na nika distance.
Na sikuwa, if you ask me whether I felt the pebbles, hakuna kitu nilikuwa nasikia. I was just there walking. I did not even wait for mzee. For what? And then the nurse asked me, shida ya mtoto ni nini? I just started crying. Madam, nyamaza, utuambie shida ni nini so that we know how to help you. I can't talk. Siwezi ongea. I'm just crying. That was the first time. The second time, I decided, I think that my child was about 6 months, maybe 7 months. So she had been in the house for long. A friend of mine called me and said, it's Sunday, so mimi mtoto nakuja, so I did everything, nimetengeneza, I'll just go for now and come back. Superwoman, all you know is enough. And then mwenye natia mtoto ni nani ni baba yake. And he told me, just go have fun. Yes. Si nimekupa pesa, just go have fun. After 1 hour is kidogo, just go. Jackie did not get to town. I got to my stay, started panicking kwa gari. Let me go. Nampigia simu. Nimefika Westi, nafikiria kushuka nirudi. And he's like, no, just proceed to town. We are okay. He literally had to keep sending me photos. Every like 30 minutes, because every 30 minutes, panic. Mtuia kwa aje. Matthew, si stranger. Ni babake, si ati ni DM, ni sister yangu, ni sister yangu. Ni brother yangu. Their father. So in my head, everything had to be, I'm the one who has to do it for it to happen. So, kufika town, I had worn my shoes opposite. Mguu ziko, nimevaa chikolego.
For real?
Yes, I walked that way and I did not realize it. So, I think majorly, I never really understood. I just thought, this pregnancy blues have stayed 2 years on and I still have that.
That's a long time.
2 years and I'm still feeling the same, like it's a week after birth.
Because you know at some point, within 8 weeks, sorry, inaisha.
Kama ni baby blues. Kama ni baby blues inaisha. I mean, I'm thinking, 2 years, mbona? But the worst part that I actually never got to, now I tell people that I had PPD. I do. I tell them I had PPD. I survived it.
Yes.
But what I never say is, at some point, I wanted to off myself. That's the part that I don't tell people. Because that, for it to get there, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I can't be a mom like this. I can't be this kind of mom. You know, the kind of mom that everything my husband does triggers you. Everything anybody says just is a trigger. It got to a place where I couldn't hang out with anybody. Because if you're hanging out, my husband, the brother, the wife, and they say something that just feels like it's pinching me, that's it for me. I'm done. And it's statements like, ati bibi yako anapenda kulia.
Kai.